Aw shit, it's your boy Kai coming at you live from my mom's basement to bring you another episode of Let's Play Breath of Fire. No, not really, but we are in the basement of Nanai Castle where we're on our way to put a stop to the Dark Dragons abusing this Quake Control device, which apparently gives them the ability to manipulate the tectonic plates and cause earthquakes anywhere in the world. Yeah, that's pretty hardcore, and we are not about to let that fly. So in our last episode, in order to make it here, we had to be all ninja and sneak through the town, which was occupied by the Dark Dragons. And while doing so, I briefly mentioned or alluded to Metal Gear Solid. And the reason I did that is because my best friend Nick, whom I've dedicated this LP to, was the person who introduced me to Metal Gear Solid. Now, I've played Metal Gear as a child, and that's one of those quote-unquote Nintendo hard games. And even to this day, I've never completed that game. And actually, about 2 weeks ago, I watched somebody do a long play of the original Metal Gear, and they beat the game in less than an hour, which was already a big enough kick right in the childhood nuts. But when I realized how close I actually was to completing the game, I was just appalled. Like, literally, I maybe had 10 or 15 minutes of gameplay left to go, but for some reason I just couldn't figure out what to do next, and I was stumped. But anyways, that's not the point I wanted to make. The point I wanted to make was, back when I was in 9th grade, he and I, we played Metal Gear Solid so much. Like, you guys don't even know. On the weekends, we used to sleep over each other's houses and stay up all night playing video games. Oh, by the way, here we get a bolt stone. I'll go over that momentarily. Those are really damn good. What do you mean you're looking at me funny for being 14 and calling it a sleepover? Come on, let's be real. It's a fucking sleepover, alright? You don't have to try and be cool in front of your friends and just say you're gonna go hang out or whatever. So anyways, well, some of the games we used to play were GoldenEye, Soul Calibur 2, this game, Breath of Fire, and Metal Gear Solid. Did I get that antidote? Okay. And I don't know, maybe I'm weird, or maybe you guys will think I'm like a maniac or something, but whenever I play an RPG, or any game for that matter, and we get to a point where an element of gameplay is primarily focused on stealth, or infiltration, and trying to be all sneaky and ninja, I just really enjoy that element of gameplay because I have so many fond memories of, you know, hanging out with my best friend playing video games. Are there any elements of games or games themselves that give you that feeling of nostalgia? If so, I'd love to hear from you guys, so if there is, leave a comment in the comment section below. For me, like I said, it was always Metal Gear Solid. By the way, here we get an arm pad, which you would think is a shield. You know, it's a pad for your arm, but it is actually a piece of body armor. So it weighs less than the suede chest plate, and it gives you more defense. I'm guessing that means padded armor. Now, in an instance like this, you definitely want to prioritize the Gloom because of their Thunderbolt attack. And if you choose Auto Battle, the game will target the Beaks first. But once you get him out of the way, it's safe to go ahead and go on autopilot. Now that I think about it, there are no new enemies in this dungeon, so I could edit some of these out. Let's see, let's go down here now. Oh, right, that bolt stone that we picked up a few seconds ago. That isn't a battle item, and when you use it as an item in battle, obviously, it will cast a Thunderbolt spell, which deals, I think it's 80 damage? Yeah. And the thing about battle items in this game, and black magic in general, is that they always do a fixed amount of damage, which is really good because it bypasses any defense or magic defense an enemy might have. And we gained a level, awesome. Another cool thing about this game is when you gain a level, you recover HP equal to the amount that you gained in that level. However, I still want to use an herb just to be at max. So I know what you guys are thinking, Kai, if all offensive spells deal a fixed amount of damage, why do we have magic defense or elemental strengths and weaknesses? Well, the reason is, oh, here we get a Firestone. That deals 40 damage and is fire elemental. The reason is, enemies still have elemental weaknesses. And if you happen to target their weakness, you will deal, it's either 20 or 25% more damage. So that's pretty nice. The only thing that's a little trippy is the way this game handles, it's either earth or thunder elemental attacks. For some reason they count them as like wind, or they count thunder as earth or something like that. It's really weird. But I'll go over that in more detail when we actually have access to those elemental spells. Here we get a cure item. That's basically the X potion of the game. It will restore one character to full HP. They also sell for like 1,000 gold each. So if you think they're part of the Too Good To Use club, you can definitely sell them for some extra cash, which is probably what I'm going to be doing in the very near future. Speaking of that, you've noticed that we've picked up quite a bit of money in this dungeon already. So if you want to head back to that weapon shop and buy the longsword, that's a pretty good idea. I would recommend it. Again, if you're new to this game or you don't feel as confident as I do, because that will make the boss coming up a lot easier. Spoiler alert, there's a boss coming up. However, since I'm not going back to get that weapon, it'll make things a bit more interesting. Alright, that's it for the treasure and the dungeon. That was pretty quick and easy. Uh-oh, that must be the device that's causing all these earthquakes. And all this time I had my money placed that it was a giant catfish. Oh well. But can we defeat this caped menace and return control of the Quake device back to the King of Nanai? You guys will just have to find out the answer to that question right now, because we have boss time. Don't worry, sir, I didn't see you playing with your dolls. Well, we can stop you. Who is this guy anyways? The Knight. Really, game? You know, you couldn't call him, hey Bob or Chief or whatever the fuck. You just had to call him a Knight? Anyways, first things first, let's use the Firestones. Put some of these items to use. Actually, one second, guys. My phone's ringing, and I have to take this call. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My mother called, and it was rather important. So, love you, Mom. Let's get back to this boss battle against the Knight. So now, you know what? I want to hang on to that bolt stone for now. Let's just start walloping him with our sword. Now this guy is a little challenging. He's not exactly as difficult as, say, a T-Rex trying to play Frisbee, but he's going to be a little bit troublesome because this attack right here, yeah, 20 damage, that hurts. Luckily we have 7 herbs, and we are faster than this guy. And you know what? I changed my mind. Let's give him our own Thunder Spell. Yeah, very nice damage. Very nice dodge. So the trick here is to watch out for that Thunderbolt attack. As you saw, it does 20 damage. So you want to keep yourself relatively healed and just whittle him down with your regular attacks. And your counter attacks, even better. But getting back to this guy's name, Now, is this another instance of Ted Woolsey's expert translating skills? Or was his name really just Knight in the original Japanese version of the game? Maybe one of you guys know the answer, but unfortunately, I don't, because I've never played the Japanese version of the game. And even if I did, the only word I know how to read in Japanese is tentacles. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that won't be very beneficial to me in this instance, because I'm pretty sure his name is not Tentacles. Although that would be pretty cool, I guess. You know, like, being named... Never mind, we're just gonna avoid that discussion altogether. If you did happen to buy the longsword, you'd be dealing closer to 20 damage per attack, and you would probably have this guy down by now. But I like a challenge. Hey, critical hit! What the? Yeah, this guy can heal himself too when he gets down to critical HP there. Some people like to save the Bolt Stone for now, so that way you can just use it, get him right through his critical HP and knock him into a second wind, therefore bypassing his ability to heal. However, I decided not to do that. And without the longsword, it's going to take a little bit of luck to get through this. Pretty much any heal spell he uses, like that, will nullify relatively 2, maybe 3 of my attacks. So that's no bueno. And this just became a battle of attrition. But as long as we get counters and criticals, we'll be fine. Or not. Okay, if this goes on for too much longer, I might just edit out the back and forth and meet you guys back here when we actually have this guy. There we go. You guys see that power swing from Ryu? Man, that would do some serious damage. Uh-oh, we're getting low on herbs. Come on, we almost got this guy. I guess this is as good a time as any to ask you guys what you think of the game so far. You know, battle mechanics, music, graphics, gameplay, anything. I'm a huge fan of the series, but I've already mentioned that quite a few times. Ooh, do we go for the kill, or do we heal ourselves? Yeah, let's not play it risky this time, even though that is my style. Alright, we got him into a second wind. Oh, yeah, that reminds me, when you knock a boss into their second wind, it resets the turn order for combat. That's why Ryu just took a second turn there. So, that could come in handy later on, when we actually have more party members. Come on. How much HP does this guy have? Yeah, got him. Alright. And we get a truckload of experience. Little sloppy, but we got him all the same. I would definitely recommend saving the Bolt Stone for when he gets down to critical. That way, like I said, you can just hit him for 80 damage and knock him straight into a second wind and not have to worry about his healing. So now what? Do we just examine this thing? Yeah, sure, why not? And for defeating the knight, we get... Uh-oh. It was a load-bearing boss. And we're trapped? How are we going to get out of here? Is there a secret switch somewhere? Over here, maybe? Ryu hears a strange noise. Run while you can, for I am returning. What? Who said that? How do we get out of here? Are we doomed? Are we trapped? Is this really the end of our adventure? You guys will just have to wait and find out next time. But until then, as always, I want to say thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Take care.